Asuka, the energetic and strong mother. Yamato, the younger brother who's always in his own little world. Follow us as we karate kick all your daily frustrations away. Asuka's Revenge.
My name is Kotomi. I'm getting married to my boyfriend Shinji, and we're living in the middle of happiness. But the truth is that Shinji comes from a family that only dotes on the eldest son. From a young age, he wasn't really cared for by his parents.
Your brother has cram school, so we're going to eat outside. You go buy something to eat with this money.
Okay. That was his daily life.
We're not rich, so you're on your own for anything beyond compulsory education. Are you kidding me? Then I'll take Shinji.
It seems that when he became a high school student, he was raised by an uncle since they refused to pay his school fees.
When I was a kid, I didn't think my parents were that different. It was only when I grew up that I realized.
I see. So after he started working, he distanced himself from his family, so I met them at our wedding for the first time.
I see. Well, we can't support you at all. No matter what happens, you'll have to manage on your own.
All the family property belongs to your brother.
I know that.
They really had no interest in us. As for me, it'd be fine if I didn't have to deal with this troublesome family. I'm used to it, but when I saw his face, which looked a little sad, I'll make him so happy that he'll forget about his parents. And that's what I promised myself. By the way, I met Shinji at a dinner party hosted by my sister, Kotomi's husband, Yosuke-san. Yosuke-san is a self-employed businessman who became independent after getting a qualification while working as a company employee. It seems that Shinji has been indebted to him since his student days. I also have a brother, but Yosuke-san and my sister have been dating since they were in high school, so they've been good to us for a long time. And when we got married, the whole family was happy, but there were some people who frowned, probably because Yosuke-san has a congenital disease and lives in a wheelchair. But
Yosuke-san is a really amazing person.
I know, he's really nice too. Me, my sister, as well as Shinji respect Yosuke-san's character and abilities, so we ignore the mean things he said. And when my parents died when I was in high school and my brother was in university, my sister and her husband took care of us as if they were our parents. So my brother and I are really grateful to them. But then, at our wedding, something happened.
Kotomi, congratulations on your marriage.
Congratulations, Kotomi. I hope you'll be happy. Congratulations, Kotomi. You look so beautiful.
Be happy with Shinji.
Thanks.
I'll make Kotomi happy.
It was just before the ceremony where I was chatting with my family in the waiting room.
Oh my. A man in a wheelchair at a wedding is bad luck.
My in-laws, who I had no choice but to invite because it was a milestone and a celebration, said something outrageous.
I feel like his disease is going to spread. I don't feel good.
Seriously, I didn't know he would come here so openly. I mean, wouldn't you feel bad?
What are you talking about? This person is my sister-in-law's husband and we're indebted to him.
Shinji panicked and tried to scold them, but when they heard what he said...
Poor thing. Why don't you leave this wheelchair-bound guy and marry my eldest son?
That's right. Your beauty is going to waste.
My sister and brother made stern faces when they heard my parents-in-law's rude comments, and my sister-in-law glared at them with a scary look, but Yosuke hung his head sadly.
Dad and Mom, that's enough!
If you are dissatisfied with my family, you can leave now. I protested, but my parents-in-law mumbled something and left. But even after the ceremony started, those worthless in-laws were still there.
Just looking at the wheelchair makes me feel awful.
It ruined the big day.
They kept saying sarcastic things, and finally,
I'll go down to the lobby and congratulate you guys in my heart.
Then I'll go with you.
No, you don't have to go, Yusaki-san.
That's right. It's Kotomi's big day, so let's all celebrate without worrying about the crazy elders.
No, it's fine. Everyone, please congratulate Kotomi and the others with a smile.
in the end, Yusuke-san went down to the lobby alone. As we walked down the aisle, we noticed that the seat next to my sister was empty, and we were surprised. What happened to Yosuke-san?
I wonder if he got sick. Or could it have been my parents?
We were worried, but we found out what had happened after the wedding ceremony. My sister and her husband told us about it. That's awful.
Ugh, I can't stand it any longer. I'm gonna kick them out.
We were furious, but
Well, I'm used to being told all kinds of things, so it's fine. But I'm sorry that you had to go through all that fuss on your special day.
I felt so bad when he apologized to us, and then we moved on to the reception. But as I expected, my in-laws.
Someone in a wheelchair at the wedding strains the family name. Shinji got married to a worthless woman.
There's people from work here too. I can't believe they're getting married. What a shame.
The two in-laws continued to say such things loudly, without any concern for their reputation or shame. Those two were looked at with cold eyes by those around them, but they were oblivious to this and continued to say sarcastic things for what seemed like an eternity. And it seems that Yosuke-san had to leave the room again. We entered the venue, which had an unusual atmosphere, and were shocked to realize that Yosuke-san was not there. After we sat down at the main table, we asked the people at the wedding venue to look for Yosuke-san, and the wedding reception began.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
It seems like my father-in-law is a high-ranking executive at a certain company, and many of the guests on the groom's side were people connected to that company. However, Shinji works in a completely different industry, so he had no direct connection to the company, and in the end, he was dragged into this nonsense.
I'm really sorry.
You're not to blame, Shinji. Shinji was visibly down too, and I was thinking that maybe we shouldn't have had the wedding at all. And so, although it wasn't a smooth ceremony, it finally ended.
Since those people are troublesome, we're going to leave first. Ryota and Asuka-san, please take care of the rest.
Yeah, okay.
My sister, who was worried about Yosuke-san, who was in the lobby, left earlier than the rest of us. But even after the ceremony,
It's a relief that he got married to a pretty bride. I'm embarrassed for to be a relative of someone in a wheelchair like that.
Congratulations on the marriage.
Well, it is my second son who got married, so even if his wife's family has a disabled member, it's nothing to do with us.
even as we were seeing off the guest, my in-laws were still acting like that. So I think my sister made the right decision. And that night,
I lost patience with my father and mother.
yeah, I don't think I can forgive them either. Originally, we were going to live in the 1 LDK apartment Shinji lived in until we saved up enough for a down payment on a house of our own. But then, we suddenly decided to find a new place and move. Of course, we didn't give any information to my in-laws. Then, I heard the details of what happened during the ceremony and reception from my brothers, and I apologized to the people involved. I'm sorry that you might have felt uncomfortable, even though you came all the way here. In the replies I got, some of them seemed to be from companies that had connections with Yosuke-san, but I didn't care about that. And since the wedding, I never met my in-laws again, and a few years passed in peace. I became a mother of twins and was leading a busy life, but one day my husband's uncle came to visit and said,
Your idiot brother did something stupid at your wedding, didn't he? Oh, he invited people from his own company because he's an idiot. But he's losing credibility because of that.
It seems like my father-in-law's company had been reducing its operations for a while due to the effects of the recession. I thought that my father-in-law, who was a company executive, wouldn't be affected by the restructuring, but it seems that his position is in danger due to his usual words and actions.
Well, it's not our problem.
We have our own family. I was kind of relieved, but now that we're not really related anymore, I really don't care. With my brother and sister-in-law, I don't need my in-laws. We changed our phone numbers a while ago and we continue to live happily, but one day...
Hey! We received a letter from Shinichi's parents.
What? When we heard the story, we were surprised to learn that my father-in-law's brother, who worked at the same company through connections, made a terrible mistake. And as a result, both father and son found themselves in a difficult position.
It seems they heard about Yosuke's qualifications from somewhere, and it says that if they use that, they can recover, so they want us to help them.
Can you send that letter over here? Of course, ignore those people. If they send another one, we can just refuse to accept it and send it back. My sister said she didn't tell Yusuke-san yet, so I consulted with her and decided not to tell him.
There's no way I'm going to help those people who look down on my husband like that.
I nodded deeply at my sister's words. A little later, I looked at the letter that had been forwarded to me from my sister. What is this? How rude can they get? I knew they were rude, but their lack of manners hurts. I decided not to tell Yusuke-san. He's the kind of person who would help them if he found out.
You're right.
After that, my sister's house received several letters, but she kept refusing to accept it, and that eventually stopped. Then, I got a call from my uncle a little while later.
My idiot brother got fired and his son got demoted. Ugh, they're desperately looking for you two, so be careful.
Well, it's been a few years since we moved and changed jobs, so I think we'll be okay. We'll be careful, though.
It seems that my brother-in-law's mistake caused a lot of damage to the company, and they lost customers to rival companies, so things are going badly. But I don't really care about that.
I want to ride in the wheelchair. Me too.
Hey, you can't do that.
It's okay, guys. Get on my lap.
Yay!
I'm sorry, Yosuke. They must be heavy. Here, Dad will carry one of you.
No! I want Yo-chan. Yosuke's so popular.
Kids can tell right away who's a good person and who isn't. We built a house and my sisters come to visit us like this sometimes, so it's peaceful. I suddenly remembered when I said, who's good and who isn't. I wonder if these children would have become attached to my parents-in-law if they had any interaction with them. Probably not. No, nothing. My parents-in-law and my brother-in-law have never met our twins. They probably don't even know they exist. I don't plan to tell them in the future, and my brother-in-law is approaching his 40s, but he's still a child who loves his parents, so I think that house will come to an end someday.
The barbecue is ready.
Yosuke, I'll help you down the slope. Thanks.
It's a barbecue. I want meat.
Don't run! My 2 older brothers, 2 older sisters, a loving husband, and children. I really feel that I'm blessed. I think that I'm going to forget about the people who don't matter and hope that this happiness will continue.
Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you next time!